Ever feel like your prospects are shutting you down before you even get a chance to start? Or they cut you off, rush you along, or outright just say, hey, just show me what you got, or what's the price within the first few moments of the call? It's frustrating, right? If that sounds familiar, I'm here to change things for you. Today, I'm gonna give you 4 tested brain-triggering questions that not only keep your prospect engaged, but help build real trust from the get-go. Hey, I'm Marcus Shan, founder of Bentley Consulting, in which we train and coach tech sales and B2B sales pros like you to blow out your sales target to become the elite sales pro you dreamed of. Now, early on, I made a lot of mistakes on my sales calls that would lead to prospects who not trust me and ultimately ghost me, or I lose the deal. But the worst part, I didn't even realize I was making these mistakes. So today, I'm gonna help you avoid these exact mistakes, from what to say to how to actually say it. And if you stay to the end, you'll learn the exact frame I use to get even the toughest prospects to open up. Let's dive in. All right, these questions are part of what's called CIM. C-I-M. The cognitive influence model, which is a framework designed to influence decision-making by harmonizing emotional appeal and logical reasoning. We want to start off with a series of CIM questions designed to instantly establish a bond, making processes open up instead of actually shutting down. Now, you might be asking, why does this matter? The research shows that in the first 7 to 12 seconds of a conversation, your prospect's brain has already started assessing whether they trust you or whether they should put up a barrier or not. Now, I want you to think about this. Imagine you're having dinner with your family and someone knocks on your door. Now, assuming you don't have a Ring or a video camera, so you go and you open the door, and within seconds, you are gauging that person. You're reacting to everything from their tone to their body language to how they dress, and ultimately deciding how open you feel about moving forward to engage. Your prospects are no different than the first call, especially if you booked it cold outbound. So how can you shift their brain from defense mode to curiosity? A common misstep in sales is coming in too strong, acting overly excited, or talking about your product too early. This actually creates tension for the prospect. It can cause a defensive fight or flight response, closing them off before you even had a real chance to have a conversation with them. Instead, focus on a tone that's calm and neutral. Think of it as less selling and more discovery. When you start from a place of curiosity rather than eagerness, the prospect senses that they're in a safe place to open up. That neutrality alone can transform your conversation. And it's not just the words you say, but how you say them that can make or break that initial connection. So let's go through some examples. Let's say you booked a cold outbound lead with an exec like a CTO, a Chief Technology Officer. The call can start off something like this. Hey Kim, so there's a lot I want to learn about Alpha AI, but I was the one who reached out last week. And my assumption is that you'd rather hear about what we do before I pass it over to you. Is that right? Now, 99.9% of the time, especially with cold outbound prospects, they're going to say, yeah, that sounds good, because they're used to reps getting on, grilling them, or going to a long pitch. So let's continue. So here's what I recommend. Let's spend a few minutes walking through the typical challenges we solve for CTOs in the AI space. I can also share what I'm hearing in the industry and market as a whole. Then I'll pass it over to you. We can discuss what resonated and what challenges are going on in your world. If there's alignment, we can discuss next steps at the end. Is that fair? Now notice the calm, neutral delivery. It's tailored to the prospect's needs, not yours. Now, as long as you nail delivering a powerful point of view or sharing market insights that resonate, you can also incorporate questions like, hey, how is this showing up in your world as part of the conversation? This positioning shows them that you understand their world and makes the interaction feel personal and engaging. Now, if we switch over to inbound leads, the approach adjusts slightly. You want to avoid really generic small talk like, how are you today? Or talking about the weather for 5 minutes, because prospects know this doesn't actually mean you're interested or really even care. They know it's just small talk. So instead try, hey Kim, it's good to meet you. Mind if we discuss the agenda? They're going to say yes. Well, what I'd like to do today is just do a deep dive of your situation. If it makes sense, I'll do a quick demo with you. If we're both feeling aligned, we can lock in next steps for a more in-depth My Solutions engineer. And if I don't believe it's a good fit, I will tell you straight out and I'll refer you elsewhere if I can. Is that fair? Now then, after they agree, you can follow up with, so I'm curious, what sparked you to reach out to begin with? This is really powerful because it shows respect for their time and zeroes in on their goals without sounding like a rehearsed pitch. Now, another reason this is powerful is because you are setting a status frame very early in the call. This means frame the conversation around exploration rather than assumption. By keeping a low pressure conversational, this helps you avoid creating any urgency resistance right off the bat. It's just a discussion, no strings attached. This is huge in helping your prospects feel comfortable and valued. And you'll notice that once you get into the rhythm of these sim questions, prospects start to open up naturally. Like when you stay neutral and curious, you actually trigger a reaction in the prospect's brain that makes them want to share more. Now let's look at some more specific examples you can use the outbound and inbound leads alike. So for an outbound lead, if I were to use the same example as before, after the insights and conversation regarding that, we can open with, so that being said, Kim, what are the specific challenges you're facing with your engineering team that would absolutely derail you or you'd majorly regret if you didn't solve them 6 to 12 months out? This simple question centers the conversation around them, making it feel less like a pitch and more like a discussion that they control. But on top of that, it's helping them focus on the biggest and highest priority problems that will have the cost of inaction tied to it more than likely. For inbound leads, ask the initial question about what sparked them to reach out, and if it's not clear about the exact problems they have, you can ask, so Kim, with that being said, what would you say right now is your biggest challenge, or what's not worked to the level you feel like it could be or should be? Now again, this approach quickly clarifies their intentions and builds rapport. Now it's also very important are your non-verbal cues. Even if they can't see you like on a phone call, your tone, your energy, even the subtle gestures can influence how they perceive you. Imagine visualizing the gap between where your prospect is now and where they want to be. This can change your tone to be warmer, more genuine, and ultimately more engaging. And if you're on Zoom or in person, hand gestures and facial expressions only add to this connection. When they feel understood, they're more willing to engage fully. And as the conversation flows, you can gradually introduce the idea of working together without pressuring them. For instance, you can try saying, hey, towards the end, if it seems like this might align with what you're looking for, we could talk about some potential next steps. So when you phrase it this way, it leaves them in control, which lowers defenses and makes the interaction feel really, really safe. When your tone and questions are guided by genuine curiosity, it puts their mind at ease. You're removing barriers to communication, making the just send me more info responses far less likely. Instead, they're becoming more open and ready to say yes without feeling pushed. So there you have it. 4 sim-based questions that bring prospects in, keep the conversation meaningful, and establish trust. Regardless of the industry you sell into, these questions are super effective in helping your prospect feel genuinely heard and appreciated. Now, if you want our help to help you improve your sales results, head below and book a call with my team below to see if it's a good fit for our coaching programs. If you want to learn how to create massive urgency for your deals to close faster, I'll see you in this next video right here.